But we did have one idea. Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Can someone confirm that I am not in fact dreaming right now? That this is not a drill. That this is real, because holy crap, Hugh Jackman is returning to the role of Wolverine in Deadpool 3.
I thought that was you!
Wait, is that you?
This is literally a dream come true for a lot of Marvel fans, a lot of movie fans, Hugh Jackman fans, Ryan Reynolds fans, Deadpool fans. Like, so many people, myself included, love these characters. I think probably even a lot of the like MCU haters still love Deadpool and still loved Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. And we all thought that he wasn't coming back. Like, I thought, or at least most of us thought, that the time for this had passed. Hugh Jackman was adamant that Logan was his goodbye to the character, that it was a magnum opus, that he wasn't going to come back and ruin that ending.
Go fuck yourself.
And of course, in hindsight, Patrick Stewart said the same thing about Xavier, and we know that Feige convinced him to come back for his cameo spot. I mean, it was an alternate version of his character, and that's how they sold him on it, but he came back. So yeah, we're at a point now where it's time to wildly speculate.
Hold on to your butts.
This is going to be a rather short video. I'm not going to do much editing to it because I was literally on my way out the door to go to the gym when this news broke, but Wolverine is my favorite character in all of Marvel, long before even Hugh Jackman picked up the role, and the X-Men have always been my favorite Marvel characters. Ironically, just earlier today, I recorded the video I meant to record today, which was about She-Hulk, and through that conversation, I brought up Deadpool, and I was making a lot of Deadpool analogies, so clearly I willed this into existence, right? This is... So, wild speculation here. First thing that we could speculate on, these are not just full-fledged theories, these are just thoughts off the top of my head, but like I mentioned, the reason that they were able to bring Patrick Stewart back was because this is a different version of the character. Like, we got to play that off of, hey, this is not your Xavier, you still said goodbye to that Xavier, this is a different one. So, speculation piece number one, theory timing piece number one, whatever you want to frame it, perhaps the Wolverine we are getting is going to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, but not the one that we know from the original timeline. Point is, this is not maybe going to be the same Logan, this is going to be a different one, which I think, in order to speculate a little bit further, let's talk about where this fits in. So we were given a release date, I believe it said September 6th. 2024. So, and looking at the Marvel slate for Phase 5 and 6, that puts it just 2 months after Thunderbolts, which is interesting timing. So 2 months after we have a ragtag anti-hero team showing up in the MCU, and right around 2 months before Fantastic Four drops. So, Thunderbolts is going to bring together, obviously, the Thunderbolts team. And I think throughout the course of that movie, maybe we'll figure out that some character in the MCU that helped assemble this team, or led to the assembly of this team, found out about the multiverse, and maybe Kang in particular. And so they pulled this team together to create some sort of a heist scenario or something, kind of a spy, like a Mission Impossible, right? I mean, because these characters that we're getting in that movie are very Mission Impossible type characters. A bunch of super soldiers and Ghost, a walk-through-wallsy type. So clearly, I think they're going to try and sneak into somewhere and do something like that. So somehow, loosely, they may be tied into or lead to the revelation of somebody being in our universe who shouldn't be in our universe. Somebody being in the MCU who shouldn't be in the MCU. So then we lead into Deadpool 3.
Oh, hello.
Which I think is probably going to be a versus movie. I say that, and versus movies come with a lot of negative connotations, but we know that from experience, Ryan Reynolds and his team are pretty passionate about turning some expectations on their head and poking fun at things. I mean, it's satire, it's comedy.
You stole that from RoboCop.
RoboCop, just stand down. You're embarrassing me. Look.
And it's earnest all at the same time when you see a Deadpool movie. So I expect what we'll see there is a Wolverine versus Deadpool scenario that, like all versus movies with multiple heroes, ends up with some kind of like team up or twist near the end, and we see them working together. Maybe to change that formula up, they'll team up sooner rather than later. But the point is, I think somehow that movie is either going to start with this Wolverine coming from a different timeline or Deadpool coming from a different timeline, maybe using the timeline slider, but somehow they're crossing universes, and at the end, one or both of them cross into the MCU proper, or into the universe where we will meet the Fantastic Four, leading us into the Fantastic Four in November of that year. And in that movie, I think is where things are really going to start getting sci-fi and multiverse hoppy, because that's what the Fantastic Four does, right? They're the explorers. So what if we go from this very loose Thunderbolts connection, which I'll admit is the weakest part of my little pseudo off the top of my head theory. We go from there, we go into Deadpool and the time slider and him and Wolverine, and maybe Kang is involved. Maybe they're trying to stop Kang, who knows, from their universe. But they end up creating an incursion, and Reed Richards is a Reed Richards maybe from a different universe who notices these things going on and tries to stop it. Or maybe he's from the main MCU. But the point is, he's going to be looking into this as well and discover more probably about Kang. And then we move into the full multiverse, like just everything hitting the fan phase after that. So I basically, what I'm saying is I think Wolverine and Deadpool's conflict is going to be a multiversal catalyst. See, I was of the mind up until now that Deadpool and the main mutants, the X-Men, weren't going to show up until after the whole Kang Secret Wars scenario. But this proves that they're going to show up before then in some more important capacity. And maybe they're going to be the impetus for that. I mean, who better to be like, let's get the heroes together accidentally than Deadpool accidentally crashing into the main MCU.
Maximum effort. Oh, hello.
Or an adjacent reality that then gets the MCU truly involved in this scenario. And of course, we know that separately, Ant-Man is going to have his run-in with Kang, so I think we're going to have two sides of this, hey, we've got to get everybody together coin. And then Loki too, we're going to have, I think, multiple different prophets of doom essentially going on here. At this point, I'm kind of rambling, but to sum it up, I don't think this is going to be necessarily the exact same Wolverine that we've seen before. I do think we're going to have some awesome fights between him and Deadpool. I think we're going to see them team up, and I think they are going to be intrinsically and importantly tied to the spark that sets the Secret Wars off. I think they're going to put, somehow, some way, the Fantastic Four on the trail. And I can't wait to see how wrong I am about all of this. But I'm super excited, as you can tell, to see Deadpool coming back, confirmed, and especially to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the MCU. Man, you can tell I didn't script this. Anywho, if you guys are excited to see Wolverine in the MCU like I am, definitely let me know down in the comments how much of this theory you think is just crackpot tomfoolery, or if you think I might be on to something here. And let me know your theories on how that's going to play into the greater plot of the MCU, or how Wolverine is going to come back and what they're going to do with him. All that said, thanks for enduring this a little bit more rambly video than normal, guys, and I'll see you film friends later. Cut.